WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 6. An Aberdeen man charged with arson, accused of setting a garbage can and 2 homes on fire. 36-year-old Corey Cortez Bell is charged with 1 count of destroying county property. He's facing 2 counts of arson and 2 counts of disorderly conduct and 2 counts of resisting arrest. Monroe County Sheriff Cecil Cantrell says deputies were first called to White Rock Road about 5:30 yesterday afternoon. Investigators believe Bell set a garbage can on fire at a home, and then the house went up in flames. There was significant damage to the home, according to investigators. Another home was also set on fire. Sheriff Cantrell called it an unexplained rampage. Bond has not been set for Bell, and he remains in jail. Investigators in Tupelo are trying to figure out what sparked a house fire there this morning. Firefighters were called to a home in the 300 block of South Highland Street around 4 o'clock. Check out the damage there. The home was vacant, but Tupelo Fire Chief Thomas Walker says there was extensive damage on the inside of that structure. It took firefighters less than 20 minutes to put out the blaze. The good news is no injuries were reported. Investigators are now searching through the debris, trying to find out what started that fire. A Tennessee man is indicted on a sex crime in Oktibbeha County. Nicholas Winchester, he was indicted on sexual battery. He was arrested by Starkville police last August. Investigators say the alleged crime happened on Colonel Muldrow Avenue. The Milan, Tennessee man is out of jail on a $25,000 bond. His next court appearance is scheduled for April 30th. New information today in the settlement between the state and the victims of a deadly Oktibbeha County crash. The Mississippi Department of Public Safety paid $133,000 to Tanika Alexander and $83,000 to Noel Collier. The estate of MSU track star Kaylin Kirsch received $283,000. Lawyers reached an agreement last June, but it was not official until January 9th of this year. There's a $500,000 cap on damages when you sue the state. State Trooper Kyle Lee was indicted on the charge of manslaughter and culpable negligence. Prosecutors say he was driving at speeds up to 99 miles per hour when Trooper Lee's cruiser hit the victim's car. Kirsch died in that May 2017 crash. Lee was released on a $5,000 bond and was placed on administrative leave. Sports betting is gaining attraction in the Magnolia State, and one casino resort is launching the first ever phone app to place bets starting this weekend. Beginning tomorrow, guests can place their bets from their phones and other mobile devices. This will be at the Pearl River Resorts. Now, per gaming regulations, you have to be on the site at the casino to place bets through that app. Now, since opening the sports book 5 months ago, it has paid out over $8 million in winning bets. Well, we finally made it to Friday. It's time now to get a first look at our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Hey there, Keith.
Hey, Scott. Yes, indeed. It is Friday evening. Overall quiet, some clouds out there. Temperatures are mild now, but later on we're down into the mid to low 40s. Lows tonight likely into the upper 30s. So that's where we currently stand. Still a little bit of twilight here, live view in downtown Columbus. Still reporting 62 at the Air Force Base, although I don't think that has updated. Other numbers now into the mid to upper 50s. We will continue to cool on down later on this evening, but quite mild relative to where we have been. So Futurecast picking up on these temperatures tonight, 40s and some upper 30s. We'll call it partly cloudy tonight. Overall tame. As we look ahead, more 60s, more 70s coming our way. We'll talk about this mild regime, Scott, in just a few minutes.
Sounds good to me. All right, thanks, Keith. Well, Mississippi University for Women officially welcomes its newest president today. Our Riley Livingston went to the ceremony to bring us the story. She joins us live in the studio with more. Hey, Riley.
Hey, Scott. Rent Auditorium was full today of people ready to support the inauguration of Nora Miller. The ceremony was full of laughs, tears, and an overwhelming sense of excitement as Miss Miller became President Miller.
It's the start of something new at MUW. Nora Miller officially became the 15th president of Mississippi University for Women.
I am exhilarated. It's just a wonderful day. I'm so happy, and I just really feel blessed.
President Miller is the first alumna to be named president of the university on a full-time basis. And that's what people say makes her the best choice to lead.
Miss Miller was a perfect fit. She had been at this university for many years. She's an alumni of this university, and that's very important to be able to reach out to the past graduates of this university for their support. If you look at the past, present, and future, she was a great choice.
It's just a dream come true, really, that we have someone of this skill set and this stature to come and be our president. She certainly has the skills, she has the knowledge, she has the passion for the university, and she's just a strong woman.
She already has plans in mind to help grow the W.
I want to make sure that we are adapting to the changing world around us, that we are reaching students where they are geographically and also where they are in their preparation. And I want to give our students the best possible experience like the one I had here, and just make sure that we're always adapting to make that change as people need.
But with growth comes challenges, and one challenge is on everyone's minds.
I think one of the biggest challenges is funding. We know that state appropriations have been on a decline the last few years, and we have had to absorb some hits.
Based on Nora's background as a chief financial officer and auditor, I think she's well equipped to deal with tough budget times, and she's a great fit for the presidency here at the W.
Students, faculty, and alumni are excited to see where President Miller takes them from here.
The W has been on an upward trajectory now for many years. It's had solid leadership, and selecting Miss Miller to continue that leadership was an easy choice, and we're just looking forward to being able to continue that with her leadership.
Of the 4 presidents selected since the W went co-ed, 3 have been women.
All right, thank you very much, Riley. Well, water plays a vital role in our lives and our communities, and now here's a way you can learn how. The Smithsonian's Waterways exhibit. It's at the Tenn-Tom Waterway Museum. Now, this display shows how water powers the environment, impacts climate, and shapes the landscape. Rivers and oceans also play a role in American culture and society. Many of the earliest settlements and migration patterns were along waterways. There are videos and displays within the exhibit which will be open during normal business hours until March 8th. Books take center stage at Eastside Elementary in West Point. Reading cheerleaders, also known as teachers, they're rallying for reading. Former MSU standout football Fletcher Cox and his friend Chris Long, they were among the athletes who donated books to Mississippi students. It planned to go along with Sunday's big NFL game, and this is called the First Quarter for Literacy Week.
We set the foundation in pre-K and kindergarten, so it's so important that we foster that love of reading at an early age. These children, they need to know that you have to know how to read in order to be successful in life, and so we are so thankful for the Chris Long Foundation.
Each child goes home with 5 brand new books.
It's an evening of glitz and glamour that benefits kids and families throughout the area. We'll tell you about the Junior Auxiliary of Tupelo's Charity Ball. That's coming up on WCBI News.
Welcome back, everyone. The Bancorp South Arena plays host to one of the area's largest charity events. WCBI's Allie Martin, he gives us a sneak peek at the Junior Auxiliary of Tupelo's Charity Ball.
For several days, members of the Junior Auxiliary of Tupelo have been preparing the Bancorp South Arena
Take it down a notch.
for the 56th annual Charity Ball. Gatsby Gala is this year's theme.
We have a lot of people that have told us that they're going to dress in theme, a lot of flapper dresses, and we just thought it would be a really good time. It's not a theme that we've done before, so we thought it would be a lot of fun to transform the arena into the Roaring 20s era.
Behind the feathers, chandeliers, and other bling is the real cause. The Charity Ball is the only fundraiser every year for the Junior Auxiliary. Proceeds from ticket sales, living ads, and a silent auction allow JA members to do service projects in schools and throughout the community.
We're raising money to help feed and clothe children of Tupelo and Lee County, help them if they're struggling at school, we tutor them. There are all kinds of projects.
The entire community helps with the Charity Ball. Park Heights Executive Chef Dan Schroeder leads a team of JA members who prepare enough food to feed 1,000 guests for the big event.
It's a good time, you know. It's fun to see it come together. You come here on Wednesday, you don't see the rooms really not set up, and then you say, this is going to get done in time, and then Friday you see how it's all done, everything comes together, and so many people, and we make it happen.
All 88 junior auxiliary members help with different aspects of the charity ball, and their husbands help with the cleanup. In Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
The Citizen of the Year is also announced during the charity ball.
Well, speaking of Tupelo, right now 57 degrees. Yes, 57 here on our Friday evening, the first day of February. Lows tonight, upper 30s to around 40. The spring-like air continues. More after the break.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
We are just cruising right along. Saturday, 65 degrees, a mix of sun and clouds, a mild day overall, so spring-like temperatures will continue not only for Saturday or Sunday or Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. You get the theme here, folks. We are in the new month, and it looks like we just zoomed right past February and got into March, but it is still February. The average right now today, 55 for a high, 33 for a low. And by the end of this month, the average should only be 62. I say only because we are blowing way past that over the next few days. Now, speaking of this great weather, my dog Aurora Lily soaking up some sunshine in the backyard earlier today. More scenes like this as we go throughout the next couple of days. Let's talk about the daylight we have. You've probably noticed we're adding some extra minutes during the day. Today, about 10 hours and 35 minutes of daylight. We are actually going to gain 51 minutes during this month of February, and we still have about 4 hours of daylight to add before summer begins in late June. So our days will expand. More sunlight in the morning and more sunlight in the evening as we go forward. Here's our Alpha Insurance camera network in Columbus, Tupelo, Vernon at Durham's Pharmacy, Louisville, Mississippi. Still just a little bit of twilight out there, so that's a sign of our longer days that are developing as we push into winter, late winter, and now, or eventually the spring. It feels like spring now, though. A few showers there near Meridian. That's about as close as they got to us today, although we did see across the northern part of Mississippi this morning a few light showers. We dodged the system to our southeast, more showers in Florida now. There's another one out there in New Mexico that could give us a few showers on Sunday, but not a lot of active weather for this weekend. Will we see more cloud cover? Yes, so we'll see patches of clouds for our Saturday, for our Sunday. Not a lot of moisture here. Our rain chances actually start to go up as we get into your Monday and Tuesday. A frontal system comes on in, washes out, and then we just stay in this warm sector of this big system for your Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even in the Friday too. Now eventually we may see some more widespread showers and storms around here, so we will evaluate that as we get closer. We do know that things will stay mild, so 60s for the weekend, 60s and 70s next week, maybe a shot at some mid-70s by Thursday. There is some cooler air likely going to come back sometime by the end of next week, but again, we still have a week to watch it. Scott?
The rivals meet again on the basketball court. Bulldogs taking on the Rebels for Super Saturday. We preview the big matchup coming up next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
We meet again. Mississippi State and Ole Miss men's basketball squaring off for the second time this season, setting up for a must-win Saturday for both teams. For the Bulldogs, it'll be about curing the road shooting woes. In 2 straight SEC road losses to Kentucky and Alabama, the Bulldogs have made a combined 6 triples out of 39 shots. Ben Howland credits opposing defenses as being the reason.
You're playing a team on their home floor. You've got to even be more efficient offensively in terms of execution to get good shots and take good shots. And we missed some open shots in our last game, but we also took some tough shots too. And it's about, everything about shooting has to do with the quality of the shot.
Howland says Nick Weatherspoon practiced this week and looked good, saying the sophomore guard should be in action come Saturday. As for the Rebels, things have not been the same since it pulled off the road win in Starkville on January 12th. Since then, Ole Miss has lost 4 out of its last 5, but still above 500 in SEC play. Kermit Davis says his team has to find their way once again, now that teams aren't overlooking the Rebels.
We've gone from the extreme, we went from finishing last year to pick last this year, no expectations, to have a big target on our back. Teams are playing well against us right now, so it's kind of a 2-month period. You went from the one extreme to the other, and that's a good thing, but, there's still some reality to that.
Get back to doing the things you used to do, being gritty and practice, having competitive practice, and just me as a leader, just, keep reminding guys, like, this it's a long season. It's not over. We got so much more to play for.
Ole Miss and Mississippi State tip off at 2:30 p.m. tomorrow in Oxford. You can catch the game on the SEC Network. To women's hoops, Hail State Hoops was dominant once again, holding LSU to the lowest scoring output ever for an SEC opponent. One of the most encouraging things for the Bulldogs happened on the offensive end. Andra Espinoza-Hunter was on fire from the start, scoring 11 of State's first 13 points and finishing with 16 overall, leading the team. The UConn transfer has been gaining more and more confidence, playing a key role for Vic Schaefer since Chloe Bibby's injury.
I think my teammates have helped. Their confidence, like I said last night, their confidence in me has helped my confidence on the court a lot. So really, credit goes to them.
I think her role is a little bit similar to what Blair did for us. I need her to be a good help side defender. I need her to make shots when they leave her open, and I don't need her to turn it over. And if she can find T and pass her the ball every now and then, that makes it even better. And I think that has a real value to a team. People have to guard her. It spaces out the floor and allows Jazz and Joe to really create and do some things for themselves.
The next time we'll see Hail State Hoops in action is on Super Bowl Sunday. They tip off at noon against the Alabama Crimson Tide. But coming up tonight at 10 on WCBI Sports, playoff basketball is ramping up at the high school level. Teams trying to sort their way out as the district tournaments begin next week as we begin the road to Jackson. As high school basketball season is slowly coming down to the wire, each win matters as teams look for seeding. We'll have highlights from South Pontotoc and Eupora coming up tonight. That's it for sports. We'll have a last year forecast coming up next.
Mother Nature just said, let's just forget February and go right into March, apparently, with these numbers.
Fine by me. That is fine by me.
And so I saw a lot of people today that are thanking me for the great weather, but I'm like, don't thank me because that means you have to yell at me if it's bad. So I'm just a messenger here. Right. And right now we're talking about some warm weather.
So we like that. So get out this weekend, especially. I kept talking about
we'll have some clouds around, but nothing to keep you indoors.
All right, sounds good. All right, thanks so much, Keith. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Have a great evening. Get outside while you can. We'll see you back here tonight at 10 o'clock.